think when our founding fathers started, they started on a very good note. There was true federalism, and there was fiscal federalism too.
Okay.
Not just political federalism, but there was fiscal federalism, that the various regions could generate, their own revenue, and then spend the revenue on the development of the people. And things went well. If you look at the first generation universities, there was a kind of competition. I was there, but I want to establish a university, what is now known as OAU.
Okay, yeah. Obafemi Awolowo University.
University, Ife. Then, Unamdi Azikiwe, Nsukka. Then, the northern region under Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. So, there was healthy competition. You had the cocoa house built from cocoa money. Then you had the granite pyramids. Then oil palm was booming, in the eastern part of the country. At that time, there was no dependence on oil. Oil was discovered much later, and it was actually in the era of Gowon that large production of oil actually started. And unfortunately, what ought to be a blessing became a curse because people abandoned that. Then federalism, Ironsi had good intention, but the method is used abrogating the regional governments and having a unitary system of government. Well, I don't blame him too much for that because he was a soldier, this chain command and everything unitary. But it was a wrong approach. And it was one of the things that brought problems. And Gowon tried to correct that by creating 12 states so that there will be some balance and healthy competition. What really derailed the First Republic, and we must be very sincere about it, is the issue of faulty elections. This issue of election, if it's not dealt with in Nigerian political system, we'll just continue to have merry-go-round.
Recurring decimal.
Recurring decimal of crisis.
And that will continue to push us backward.
And push us back. But when there was held the election under the British for the regional government, you can see that the government were vibrant and they were competing with each other for development. Very healthy development. And unfortunately, when we return to the civilian era, people had already gotten used to this issue of taking money at the center. That federal system, they gather all the money and then they share. If the federal government was made weaker financially, the attraction for many of these posts will not be there.
Okay, will not be there.
Will not be there. People want to develop their regions. And then if you look at some regions now, you can imagine one of the issues we had to deal with recently, where the age for taking WAEC exam,
yes,
it was actually meant to hold back. 18. It was meant to hold back a part of the country to wait for the other parts.
That's your opinion?
That's my opinion. And of course, if you look at those that affect negatively, it's going to be those of us in the South. And that was very strange to me because Taher Mama is somebody that taught me, and I respect him. And I was very surprised. Is then I knew the difference between an administrator and a politician. And the Mama I saw as a politician was different from the Mama I knew as my teacher.